Hi everyone, this is Attorney Lillian, and I am here today with your Tuesday tip. So today I want to talk to you about the 3 ways your previous marriage can affect your current marriage-based immigration case. I love talking about this topic. I get so many questions. I see this come up a lot with some of my clients. So I thought I would just spend the time, talk to you about it, and make sure you avoid these mistakes because they can be brutal for you to overcome. So let's make sure that you know what these top 3 things are so that you are not making the same mistakes. So let's jump right in because this, like I said, this is a topic that I love talking about. I love when people are ready to start their process and we can basically check these 3 things off and make sure that it is not going to be an issue in their case. Okay? So the first thing is applying for a visa and not including that you are married, right? So if you're applying for a visa to the US, there's this myth that if you put that you're married, that you would not get the visa. And the opposite is also true, where people believe that if you're not married, that you would not get a visiting visa to the US. And for that reason, they leave off the fact that they're either married or they're not married, right? So in both of those situations, it can come back and haunt you, okay? So first off, if you say that you are married when you are actually not married, that is misrepresentation. That is going to haunt you when you go to apply through your now current spouse. Okay, so if you're married to a U.S. citizen and you're ready to file, you need to remember what you put on your visa application when you are coming to the U.S. Again, this is if you're physically in the U.S. And even if you're not in the U.S., this applies to you, because if you have ever applied for any visa to the U.S. and you have put in there that you're either married when you're not, right? Or that you're not married when you actually are, both of those situations is misrepresentation. Okay? And the US government can require you, in most situations, they will require you to file a waiver for that misrepresentation. So, when you're filing with your spouse, the first thing you need to do is remember every single visa application you have ever filed, even if it didn't lead to you being able to come to the US, right? Even if you filed the application and the visa was denied, that can still come back, okay? Just keep that in mind. If you file a visa application, even if the visa application is ultimately denied, it can still come back and affect your current marriage-based green card case, okay? Remember, and I say this all the time, and some people do not believe me, you have one immigration file. US government has, at this point, updated their system to the point that they don't actually use physical forms anymore, okay? Physical files. So they can send the file over to the embassy without having to physically mail documents. They can email it. They have their whole system on how to share documents between the State Department and USCIS, okay? So whether you're applying outside of the US or in the US for a green card through marriage, a green card period, if you have misrepresented information about your marital status, know that it is going to come back, and you should be preparing yourself. One, if you're working with a lawyer, you should be informing your lawyer so they can best advise you on what you actually qualify for. Most of the time, it would be a waiver, but again, it depends on what you're applying for. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you ever filed a visa application and you said that you were married or that you weren't married when the opposite was true, that's going to haunt you. That's going to affect your current marriage-based green card application. And it's going to lead to either the embassy or the USCIS saying that you need a waiver to basically ask the government to forgive you for lying about your marital status. And in some situations, they will frame it as, oh, well, you filed a visa application, in 2002 saying that you were married. Give us a divorce certificate for that marriage. And some people, instead of admitting that they were never married and just apply for a waiver, would instead go and get a fake divorce decree, which once the US government finds out that it's fake, it's even an additional layer of misrepresentation, because now you're presenting false documentation on top of the false statement that you made. So just keep that in mind. You want to make sure, if you're currently applying for a visa or if you've applied for a visa in the past, that you know what's in your application before you start, so that you can prepare yourself in case it leads to you needing a waiver. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, so that is your tip for today. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. And if you like this video, go ahead and share it. If you know someone who needs to hear this, go ahead and share the video with them. If you like what I'm talking about, like the video. And if you're watching in a place that you can subscribe and you do not want to miss any of my uploads, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And I am Lillian Chukura. I am the lawyer and owner of Lillylegal, where we help our clients get status for themselves and for their family using the U.S. immigration law system. Thank you. Bye.